Once upon a time, in a small village near the flowing banks of a river, a remarkable encounter took place. The wise and compassionate Buddha, accompanied by his fellow bhikkhus, set out on their daily alms round, walking gracefully through the streets. As they strolled along, their eyes caught sight of a man named Sunita. He was an untouchable man, carrying night soil, a task considered impure and degrading in society. Sunita had heard whispers of the Buddha and his devoted disciples, but he had never laid eyes on them until this moment. Consumed by embarrassment, he was acutely aware of his soiled clothes and the foul odor that clung to him from his laborious work. In an attempt to avoid contaminating the noble bhikkhus, Sunita quickly stepped aside, diverting from their path and making his way toward the nearby river. The compassionate heart of the Buddha, however, was unwavering. He saw beyond the external appearance and perceived the innate goodness within every being. With a determined spirit, he too deviated from the path, his devoted attendants following closely behind. The other bhikkhus stood still, observing the unfolding scene with quiet curiosity. Sunita, filled with panic and uncertainty, hastily placed his buckets of night soil on the ground and frantically searched for a place to hide. Above him stood the bhikkhus, draped in their saffron robes, while before him approached the Buddha and his two devoted disciples. Caught in a web of fear, Sunita, not knowing what else to do, waded through the river's gentle current until it reached his knees, standing there with his hands joined in a gesture of respect and submission. Word of this unusual encounter spread swiftly through the village, drawing curious onlookers to the river's edge. Sunita, who had strayed from the path out of fear of polluting the esteemed bhikkhus, could not have foreseen that the Buddha himself would follow him. Deep down, he believed that he would commit an unforgivable act by defiling a bhikkhu. Hoping against hope, he longed for the Buddha and his disciples to leave him and return to their intended route. But the Buddha did not waver. He continued to approach undeterred. Standing at the water's edge, the Buddha addressed Sunita with unwavering kindness and compassion, saying, "My friend, please come closer so that we may talk." Sunita, his hands still joined, could not help but protest, "Lord, I don't dare. I am an untouchable. I do not wish to pollute you and your revered monks." The Buddha, with his soothing voice, gently replied, "On the path we follow, my dear friend, we no longer recognize the barriers of caste. You, like the rest of us, are a human being. We have no fear of being polluted, for it is only greed, hatred, and delusion that can taint our hearts. Your presence brings us nothing but joy. What is your name?" Touched by the Buddha's words, tears welled up in Sunita's eyes as he responded, "Lord, my name is Sunita." Dear Sunita, the Buddha continued, in the way of awakening, the concept of caste ceases to exist. It is akin to the mighty rivers. Once these rivers merge with the vast ocean, they shed their individual identities. Similarly, when one embarks on the path of renunciation and follows the way, caste become irrelevant, whether one is born in a noble family or an untouchable. Sunita, if it pleases you, you can join us as a bhikkhu, just like the rest of us. Overwhelmed by the depth of the Buddha's words and the warmth of his acceptance, Sunita bowed deeply, his joined palms pressed against his forehead, and exclaimed, "Never before has anyone spoken to me with such kindness and compassion. This is the happiest day of my life. If you would accept me as your disciple, Lord, I pledge to dedicate my entire being to practicing your teachings." And so, on that auspicious day, beneath the watchful eyes of the villagers and the tranquil flow of the sacred river, the Buddha embraced Sunita, the untouchable, with open arms. At that moment, the boundaries of caste dissolved, and the transformative power of love and acceptance radiated throughout the land. Sunita, reborn as a bhikkhu, embarked on a noble journey of self-discovery and liberation. Forever grateful for the profound wisdom and compassion of the Buddha that had illuminated his path.